35192 to send a text. I think the Guardians beat the Orioles last night.
5-1.
5-1. That's a sizable win. 5-1. That's the first of three. Another 6:10 game tonight, and then tomorrow 6:10 as well. Right down around the corner. At the corner of
Come on, you know this.
At the corner of
you know that.
At the oh boy.
You got it.
Get my
Andrew.
Get my map out. Andrew McCarthy, the star of
Nailed
Weekend at Bernie's.
Boom, got it.
The corner of McCarthy and Bernie, downtown Cleveland tonight, 6:10 on your FM home for Cleveland Guardians baseball. 100 points. Did you see that the Hawaii won the Little League World Series? And they did it in the fourth inning because
oh, they blew them out?
Mercy rule.
Oh.
It was the first year since COVID, so the Little League World Series hasn't played in a few years, and they had to end with the 10-run mercy rule, so they won in the fourth inning of this thing.
Left field. No! Hawaii wins the World Championship again. They outscore opponents 60-5. One of the most dominant performances we have
60-5
seen in Williamsport.
They're in Williamsport. I think we've got a bureau chief in Williamsport. See, that is world.
That wasn't the score of that game. That was just
no, 13-3.
Yeah,
they trampled Curacao. 13-3 was the final. There, they called it in the fourth inning because of the 10-run mercy rule. But like he said, during the whole series, they scored 60 runs and only allowed 5. Reminds me of years ago. Remember the name Danny Alamonte?
Uh-huh.
That was the kid that they said.
They're like, he's got to be 15 years old or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But was he actually older, or I think he was okay.
I think he was. He's 35 years old right now.
Okay.
He was born in 1987. And this was 10 years ago, I think, maybe?
Well, it'd have to be more than 10 years ago if he's 35 now.
That's what I'm saying. I think that he was as old as they thought that he was. Isn't that true? That wasn't that long ago we were talking about.
Well, if he's 35, he wasn't playing in the Little League World Series at 25.
He was playing in early aughts.
Yeah, probably 20 years ago.
Oh, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably,
I'm not good with time.
Probably 22 years ago. It's probably around 2000.
Oh, Danny Alamonte. Yeah, because he was 5'8".
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, oh, this kid's, he's lying about his age.
The thing is, I probably could have played Little League till I was probably 17 or 18 years old because I looked so little.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess at least till I was 16 because I was still like 5'1", and now was I as good as these kids? Probably not.
Yeah, you would have been the tiny ringer.
Yeah.
They stuck you in there.
I don't know about that because I still think I would have sucked compared to them.
Engaging in some subterfuge.
I wasn't that good at baseball. Was never, not that I had a sport that I was really good at. I had the coordination to play basketball. I just never had the height or the speed.
There wasn't one sport. What's a sport that values lack of height and lack of speed? What's bocce ball? Did your junior high have a bocce ball team by any chance?
Not that I know.
That's a game of concentration.
I think they got rid of it the year before I got into middle school.
Oh, what bad timing.
I know.
What terrible, terrible timing. I mean, I think that if somebody applies themselves to it, everybody might find that, like I've said before, I found out that this is when I was younger, I was an accidentally amazing archer. I'm great with a bow and arrow. And I stumbled onto that knowledge because one semester of high school gym, for whatever reason, it was archery. And I was the bullseye kid. I was Robin friggin' Hood out there.
That's the nickname you should be trying to get going.
The bullseye kid.
The bullseye kid.
That's
you got
right.
that super sperm. You the bullseye kid. That's a good one.
I guess I could do something with that.
Super sperm.
I did some axe throwing a couple weeks ago. That my buddies started a podcast, video, whatever you want to call it, podcast where you throw axes, and then you do like a little interview. And he's got it all set up in his garage. That's so much fun. Have you done that?
There's supposedly that I heard early on that supposedly that is what was going on the other side of this hallway. You know how between our building here,
yeah,
on the east side, there's a hallway and then another empty. So I heard somebody's putting an axe throwing place.
I would
I
be
threw axes
so happy about that.
a couple of years ago. It was right after things started. I think after things started opening up from COVID, whatever it was. It was my wife's cousin's bachelor party. So suburban Detroit. And we go to this place. It's booze and you can throw footballs to each other and stuff. And there's axe throwing and like a meadery in the back. I'm making mead, right?
Mm.
And for whatever reason, I don't know why, I thought somehow axe throwing was going to be very simple and I was going to crush it.
I think that's what everybody thinks. I think that's what everybody thinks.
Does everybody think that? Because
I walked in there, I'm like, I'd done it when I was a kid.
I had never done it.
And, when I was in Boy Scouts, I had done some axe throwing and some knife throwing and things like that. And I was like, oh, I should be able to do all right with this. And he had nice, sharp axes. He sprays down the board so they got
to keep it moist so it sticks. Yeah,
so it sticks. And he does it all the time. And he was still having trouble getting them to stick. So I think it's a little tougher than people expect.
I just thought, okay, it's physics. You get a good throw. You know when to release. Once you lock in, boy, I sucked. Some people are accidentally great at it, by the way. Like your ex-wife, for instance.
She was just good at it?
She and my wife did something a year and a half ago, and that was the anecdote that I got.
That she was just,
so I guess
for
you
whatever
got out,
reason, just good at that. Well.
You got out at the right time. You should be running around throwing axes.
I'm afraid if I play that, if I throw an axe, I'll accidentally chop off my ear.
Accidentally chop off your ear. Yeah.
Well, you just don't put it by your ear.
It's the same way like when I tried to throw a Frisbee and I threw it to me. Like you
threw yourself a Frisbee.
He turned a Frisbee into a boomerang.
Literally. Like I'm the only person that threw it behind him when he was throwing it forward. And
your release was too late.
Dude had to like dive into the ocean to go get it because I thought I was helping a brother out.
Well, you should, if you want to invest. I'm opening a place. It's called Let Me Ask You Something. And
that's actually what the podcast is called.
Let Me Ask You Something?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's already taken.
Or let
so
me ask you this, I think.
Let me ask you this.
Let me ask you.
Well, that's already, let me ask you this is already taken by me, Bill. So it's a good thing that it's axe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's something that, everybody might be good at something. And maybe Poundcake hadn't found his when he was a kid. Because you didn't do anything like that, right, Cody? You didn't play like T-ball,
Actually,
pee-wee football. Like
you did track.
I did track. I did karate. I did bitty wrestling.
Bitty wrestling?
Yeah.
It's called bitty wrestling? It's little kids?
Yeah, I think.
I didn't know it's called. I've never heard that.
Middle school and younger, I think, is bitty wrestling.
Bitty wrestling.
I think that's what. Unless I mispronounced.
Now, I've been to old bitty wrestling where it's octogenarians who are grappling with each other. If you've never seen someone's grandmother put another person's grandmother in a fireman's carry and take them down, it is fantastic. But I wasn't aware that there was a,
bitty wrestling.
It was an elementary school version of that.
It is
right.
bitty wrestling, right? Otherwise,
I'll take your word for it. I've never
heard that.
But if that's what they called it, yeah.
I'm gonna have a. I don't want to Google it on this computer. Never mind. Yeah, it's called bitty wrestling.
I mean, I wrestled in high school and part of college, and there were times where you would be, you were supposed to show younger kids the ropes or whatever. But I don't ever
because unless if it wasn't bitty wrestling, then I need to call the police. So I'm making sure that was actually a thing.
And this guy's been grappling me for 2 hours a night. Am I getting school credit for this or what?
Boys will be boys. It's fine. Just tackle each other.
Yeah.
I'm calling the police. 20 years later, I'm calling the police.
I think I have 3 cousins that were state champion wrestlers. Like
really
that's our family's best sport, and I never wrestled.
Yeah. I bet Bill would have been good at bowling, people are saying. Bowling.
We bowled. No. Because, again, bowling requires a bit more strength than I had at that age.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we were in, like, a bowling team. I was on a bowling league when I worked at Subway, and then I also bowled when I was a kid, and I was all right at it. And the thing is, I have good hand-eye coordination, but I was just so much smaller than everybody that it really put me at a disadvantage, strength, speed, and size-wise. So
I like bowling. Like when I play, once I lock in, I'm pretty good.
I played lacrosse and again could throw and catch and everything, but just was too small to keep up with everybody.
Speaking of older people, I'm not quite sure what this is, but they're making a big deal about it because it's coming to Cleveland. Something called the Pan Am Masters Games. And I don't know if this is like athletes of all ages. It's never been in the United States before, and its entree into the U.S. is going to be in Cleveland. The 2024 Pan American Masters Games. Their very first host city in the U.S. is Cleveland. It's going to be mid-July 2024. They say it's going to bring about $18 million into the local economy. I'm just having a hard time figuring out exactly what it is. I'm on their website, and I can't tell what it is. I mean, there's like old people passing the baton to each other, but I don't know if that's what it is. There's a lot of, business lingo, travel speak about this will really revitalize the blah, blah, and athletes volunteering in corporate support and spectators. And I think that it might be older. I think it might be older athletes, which is going to be phenomenal.
The Pan American Masters Games, or America's Master Games, is a regional multi-sport event which involves participants from the American regions governed by the International Masters Game Association. It's open to participants of all abilities and most ages.
Okay.
The minimum age criterion is 30 years. So you got to be at least 30.
At least 30.
Mm-hmm.
But that means that it's mostly older people, like former big-time athletes probably. This gives them one last hurrah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
It's pretty new.
It must be.
There was 2016 in Canada, Vancouver, 2022 in Rio de Janeiro, and then 2024 in Cleveland.
Okay. Oh, so this is only the third year.
The third, not even, because they don't do it every year. Well,
every
they were
4 years.
It looks like they're doing it every 2 years. They're supposed to do it because it's supposed to be every 4 years, but they moved it back
because of COVID.
Yeah.
7,500 athletes from more than 50 countries.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, whatever it is, the first host city in the United States is going to be Cleveland. 2 summers from now is when this will happen. So, but I'm telling you, because yes, Cleveland probably, you want to talk about the bullseye kid, Cleveland. I mean, the median age in Cleveland, it's not under 30, way over 30. So.
What is the median age in Cleveland?
Well, I think it's 50-something.
Really?
I think so.
I think
it's not a young town.
I think it's changed though. Anyone who lives close to
I'm
downtown is young.
not counting transient residents like college kids, things like. Okay, well I'm wrong. The median age is 36 years old.
That sounds about right.
But that's not young, is what I'm saying. So okay. if you're looking for a host city for something where the minimum age is 30, you're like, beautiful, Cleveland, Ohio. And
you should try and get good at one of these events.
Get good at one of these events, Poundcake, and then find yourself in.
If you focus on your archery, maybe you could be in these games.
Why archery?
Be a hometown ringer, because he said he's already good at it.
Well, I was good in high school. It's not like I've kept up with it. I mean,
right,
Gina Davis went to the friggin' Olympics. She was so good at it.
You got 2 years to lock in your skills.
Yeah.
So I say go for it.
But I'm not tall. And archery, you really benefit from being tall. Yeah, all the youngest cities in Ohio, obviously, are college towns, right?
Oberlin College?
Huh?
Is Oberlin College on there?
Yeah, 24 years old is the median age in Oberlin. Because
there's
it's
only 8,000 people. So.
But it's also, they're all college towns like Bowling Green and Kent and Athens, all real young. But those are transient residents, too.
I wonder what the median age in Columbus is.
I don't know.
Okay.
Probably lower than here. The median age in Columbus is 32 years.
Okay, few years.
Couple years. And as you are going to be, by the way, next week is Poundcake's birthday. His 30th birthday is 1 week from tomorrow.
Don't say that, because I'm going to get drunk.
It's 1 week from tomorrow.
Stop.
His birthday is 1 week from tomorrow.
You're going to be 30 years old.
And then he's going
look
to Colorado.
At all you have accomplished.
He's going to Colorado with some friends, so he's going to be out for a couple days, partying it up. Like DMX told him to do.
Do you remember your 30th birthday? I remember when I turned 30, I was married, raising 3 beautiful children. I was headlining comedy clubs on the road.
Tell us all about it.
Just, on my way to being a part of this show. So I hadn't started on the show yet, but I was, a lot of things that I did at that point led to me being on this show. So,
I think Poundcake's trajectory tracks along those lines. He's been married. He has 3 beautiful children, and he's almost on this show.
Just down the hall and around the corner.
That's right. Down the hall and around the corner.
and for whatever reason, the Wi-Fi is garbage today. So he is almost on this show.
Yeah, okay.
He keeps cutting in and out.
The Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so in 1 week, this is the last 8 days of Poundcake's 20s, right? I mean, technically, it'll be the, your birthday will be the beginning of your 31st year. So it's the last week of your first 30 years on the planet.
I'm getting drunk tonight.
Tonight? Wow, you're not even, so your preparation.
I thought you had a podcast tonight.
Yeah.
I do. I'm going to get drunk after the podcast.
Okay.
Like,
I thought you already did
Don't
your
you
podcast.
have work tomorrow?
yeah, that's why I'm getting drunk tonight and not tomorrow.
Well, but I'm saying, like,
Wait.
you have to get up and go to work in the morning.
I'm not going out. I'm just going to drink alone and get drunk and then probably go to bed.
Bro,
Wow.
I'm getting depressed.
Why?
Because the mere mention.
This is the exact same thing that happened to Erica. Remember when she was turning 30?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, she freaked out.
Yeah.
All right,
I
well,
don't know. I don't know why I feel a certain way.
Because I think some people have this idea in their head that their 20s are going to be the greatest time in their life, and nothing could be further from the truth.
And I think they also believe that they're supposed to be to a certain place by the time they're 30.
Right. Well, you should
Yeah.
be. You should be somewhere by the time you're 30, yes. And Poundcake is somewhere. He is somewhere.
You
is.
are
He's
somewhere. You're not nowhere.
right?
You're somewhere.
You're on a
Tell
huge
you where I
show.
am.
You're
I tell you where I am. I'm still on my mom's phone playing. That's where I am.
Still?
Yeah.
This guy.
We're a family. It's a family plan. And that's my plan.
Listen, I got parents too, but I haven't been on their phone plan in 20 years.
Yeah.
We all can't be Bill Squire. It's good to be Bill Squire.
It is good.
He's not on his family's plan. He's a
Doesn't have to worry.
single man.
Now I got a loaded up family plan. I got all my kids on my plan, but
It's good to be Bill Squire.
What are you going to drink tonight?
I don't know. I'm probably going to get like something heavy.
Something heavy.
Probably some,
Don't say White Claw.
no, tequila.
Yes, okay,
Some
now we're
tequila.
talking.
Tequila and
how about
orange
some
juice.
Cleveland whiskey?
That's what I'm going to be drinking tomorrow. We're going back up north with another group of friends. Except there's kids going this time, so I'll be drinking more. Yeah! Well, listen, you've got 8 days to figure all this out, Poundcake.
My God.
And then maybe you'll go on a vision quest when you're in Colorado. Maybe everything you'll return a changed man.
So I'll have like a come to Jesus moment like Mary's hand. I'm living for me.
Yeah, it doesn't have to have anything to do with Jesus, but I mean, grab some peyote buttons or something and just you in the forest.
It's not going to be like cold, is it, in Colorado?
I don't know. It's the beginning of September. Could be. Depends on
I
how
would,
hot.
I would check your app.
Yes.
There's
It's high desert.
there's
It
a
depends
lot
on where
of-
you're going to be.
there's lots of different websites and apps you can use to find out what the weather's going to be there.
I'll ask
I
my
like that you just
niece.
put it out into the universe, like what's it going to be? Something should tip you off.
Okay, I'm going to take a break while we figure all this out.
Pressed.
That's all right.
He's
got 8
sad,
days.
yeah.
He's got 8 days. He's been working up to this. Part of it's because the Ouija board told him he's going to die at 35. So these are his golden years. Think about that. You better do something quick.
I'm just going to drink my 20s away. Like I have 8 days to do that. It's my right. Like
It is your right, of course. It's your life.
when I was less than a month, or when I was a month away, I went to the club and I went by myself and I had a great time. So I'm going to do the same thing, just not go to the club. I'm just going to drink and have a good time.
I'm going to remove the club from the equation.
I'm going to enjoy.
It's going to be Club Poundcake in his easy chair. Squeaky time. All right, let me break. 35192 if you want to text for anything. And you can listen anywhere on the iHeartRadio app.